Bolu was the man everyone feared in his estate, not because he was strong, but because his ego was louder than his achievements. He once said boldly at a family gathering, "No woman can ever tell me how to live. I am the king and the king gives orders." Those words would soon choke him. Bolu's first marriage began like a fairy tale. Adaora, gentle, respectful, always smiling, thought she was marrying a partner. Instead, she became a shadow in her own home. Bolu never hit her, no, his cruelty was quieter. He ignored her greetings, dismissed her cooking, mocked her body, and reminded her daily that she was lucky he married her. Every time she cried, he said she was dramatic. Every time she tried to speak, he shut her down. After 2 years, Adaora stopped smiling. She stopped wearing bright clothes. She stopped singing while cooking. Her light disappeared, and Bolu didn't even notice. Then one dawn, the estate woke up to a shock. Adaora left. No fight, no letter, no goodbye. Just silence and 2 neatly folded keys on the table. Bolu laughed and told neighbors, "Good riddance, women are replaceable." 3 months later, he married again, this time to Zainab, elegant, educated, admired from Kano to Lagos for her poise. The estate held their breath. Everyone whispered, "Give it time. Bolu never changes." At first, the marriage sparkled. Zainab cooked, hosted guests, and smiled with grace. But she wasn't Adaora. She didn't shrink herself. She didn't avoid eye contact. She observed and waited. Bolu soon returned to his old habits. Snide remarks at breakfast, criticism over tiny mistakes, sudden coldness at night. Zainab didn't argue. She documented. Every insult, every financial threat, every humiliation, stored safely. What Bolu didn't know was simple. Zainab had found Adaora months before the wedding. She listened to her pain, her scars, her memories, but she didn't marry Bolu to suffer. She married him with boundaries ready. 6 months later, the shift arrived. One Friday morning, Bolu stormed into the kitchen demanding tea, eggs, and fresh bread before work. But the kitchen was quiet. Zainab sat at her workspace, typing calmly, wearing headphones. No panic, no apology. Bolu's voice rose and the estate heard the familiar thunder. Suddenly, Zainab stood, not afraid, not broken, but firm. She placed her documentation on the table. Dates, witnesses, recordings, messages, screenshots, everything he thought would stay unspoken. She wasn't threatening divorce. She wasn't shouting. She was simply showing him the mirror Adaora never could. From that day, everything changed. The man who once boasted he could never be controlled was now washing plates outside, carefully scrubbing bowls with trembling hands while neighbors passed by in quiet shock. He ironed clothes, swept corridors, and learned to cook without insults or demands. Not because Zainab forced him, but because accountability finally caught him. No violence, no revenge plot, just consequences. The estate expected him to rage, but instead, Bolu softened. He started saying, "Please." He learned, "Thank you." He apologized to Adaora in a long voice note, begging her to heal even if he never saw her again. And the neighbors who once feared him now respected him, not because he was king of the house, but because he finally learned to be human inside it. In this life, pride shouts, but humility lasts longer. Power isn't in controlling others, it's in controlling yourself. Please subscribe and share for more African folktales.